What makes a horror movie good? Is it how many times you jump out of your chair? Or the amount of times you peek through your fingers? Is it the creepy sounds that grab you from behind? Is it what the Academy thinks it is? In this video, you'll find out why the chills from The Ring feels completely different than Jaws, and what leverage does directors take to make you want to look away but can't look away. First, we need a data set. The good news is the jump scare rating data already exists, thanks to the public jump scare database. This data set, it contains jump scare rating, the total amounts of jump scare, if they're major jump scares, the timestamps, the running time, as well as the year. Next, we're gonna lay it up with the IMDb data set. For the plots, for the directors, for the writers, the awards, and the IMDb votes, and their ratings. And then we're gonna merge both data sets. Genre, actors, and writers come as a list. So let's make them as a list. All the numerical variables, let's convert them to inches and floats. And now we are ready to analyze this data. Once it's all cleaned up, we can finally see the shape of the horror landscape. When we plot the movies, no surprise, majority of them were horror movies. But some movies contain jump scare are not actually horror. And since we're building the recipe for the perfect movie, let's cut them out. Nearly 1 in 5 of movies were not horror. It turns out that a well-timed creep behind your shoulders can make you jump, even outside the genre. Now let's find this recipe.
Sugar. Spice. And everything
Now
nice.
let's leave these out.
Professor Utonium accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction, Chemical X.
And those are the ingredients to create the perfect horror movie. We got 666 movies. Fitting, right? For each movie, we got their IMDb rating and their votes. But some movies had an amazing reviews, but not many votes. And that's noisy. So we took IMDb approach for the top 250 and used the Bayesian weighted rating to keep things fair. The Bayesian average is a way to rate things more fairly when some items doesn't have that many votes. Instead of using the raw average, we blend two numbers, the items on average and the overall average across everything else. R is the movie average rating, V is the vote count, M is the minimum votes to qualify, we use 250,000, and C will be the global meaning rating. We put the pretenders back into the grave, leaving only the films that were real content standing, and that becomes our top 250. With the rating secure, now we can finally summon the awards. Now that we locked in the movie list, let's see what the critics think. We use awards as a proxy. Not all trophies are the same. Wins and nomination counts, but Oscars and BAFTA get an extra weight. So we decided to roll in a simple prestige score and normalize into 0 to 100. The coverage was strong. 93.4% of titles had an award data. After scaling, the distribution was super scheme. Mean was 4.26, media was 2.07, the P10 0.4, P90 8.73, and a few titles spikes up to 100. The translation is, most titles get literature award love and only a handful get all the glory. This kind of lopsided data makes plotting and model unreliable because the outliers dominate and the box confirmation fix these, squeezing the long tail, balancing the spread, and pulling the distribution closer to normal. After all that, the patterns are clear, the relationships are more stable, and the stats play nicer, making the whole analysis much easier and more trustworthy. Prestige is only one signal. Imagine the applause, but not the fear. To gauge the shock in your spine, let's head back to the scares. We measure each movie with the jump scare rhythm. How even the jump scare are spread out, how soon is the first scare, how long is the quiet tail, and how many are major jump scare. When it tested what drives the jump scare ratings, the patterns were clear. More scares and tighter pacing lifts the rating, while longer gaps, a later first scare, and a longer quiet finish pulls it down. Big jump scares can bring it up. Fun fact, jump scares really ramped up on the 80s. Before that, films would average around 3 jump scares in total. By the 2000s, that roughly doubles. Before the 80s, we have to wait 40 minutes to get the first jump scare. And now, they barely let you settle. Around the 15-minute marks, mid-popcorn by, boom, jump scare. The highest average IMDb decade was on the 70s. Time to pick a measuring stick. Let's be better than Professor Antonio and get this mix right. Let's blend the signals, or MDB, what people think of it, the awards, the prestige, and the scares, how it actually hits. Let's be heavy on the scares, being 35% to the IMDb rating, 10% to the awards, 55% to all scares. For each movie, we take the weighted average for whatever is available, is keeping the missing bits and standardizing so everything is on the same scale. And the final number is the perfect score. My I can't look but I can't look away meter. We're teaching the model how to call the perfect fry, but not handing it off the sugar, spice, or chemical eggs.
Trick or treat! Beat it, weirdos! I don't do Halloween. I got your candy right here.
Those are the fuse. The model only plays with the dials that we as filmmakers can actually twist it. For example, how many scares per hour, how soon is the first one to land, how even or regular are the gaps in between, the running time, and the director style, and even the plot theme. For the plot, we not just dunk the text. We use the TF-IDF, which is the term frequency inverted document frequency, which is basically a score to see if the word is important to the document compared to other movies. The TF in the ring.
They say is, you will die in 7 days. 7 days. 7 days.
7 days, which appear multiple times during the plot and the dialect, what makes it shine bright on that movie. And the IDF, across other horror movies, the word 7 days doesn't appear as often, so it's rare, which cranks the spotlight even brighter. Put together, the TF-IDF pushes the 7 days to the center of the stage, while more generic words like blood, house, hunted just fades in the dark. Then we compress it. Picture this, a hunted library with thousands of books, where every word in every plot would be scattered across endless shelves. Impossible to read, right? The truncated SVD is the ghost librarian, taking up the chaos. She doesn't copy the books, she collapses them in theme shelves. For example, haunted houses, zombie outbreak, killer in the woods. Now, instead of 10,000 loose words, we have a handful potential themes. The details are condensed, but the essence of the scare survives. The model doesn't read like a human. It receives a compact theme vectors like tiny coordinates to map each movie. And here enters the random forest. Think of these as an ensemble, not just one shaky decision tree, but more like hundreds. Each tree explores a different hunter hole, training on bootstrapped sample data. And every split, we don't let the tree peaks on the other features, just a random sublet. And that randomness brings two things. It decorrelates the trees and it forces them to take a different path through the house. Together, through bangings and majority voting, the forest reduces the variance, keeping bias low and resists overfitting. Horror data is messy, not linear. Scares can clutter, themes can overlap, and directors can have their different twist conventions. Linear regression would blink to the first jump scare, but random forests, they thrive on interaction effects. No mononymous relationship, like mapping to a maze without getting lost. Plus, we get the feature importancy on the other side, which the scare knobs that really drives the perfect score. We lock the random forest tune to 3,000 trees and 24 depths, with max feature to 0.5 and the max sample to 0.8. Using the permutation importancy and the partial dependency, we optimize only the controllable nodes. The scare per hour, the first scare, the gaps in between, the running time, and the major jump scare ratio, while holding the audience awards and other inputs from it. A randomized search over the realistic bounds finds a peaks around 105 to 110 minutes, the first jump scare being around the 12 minutes mark, and 5 to 6 jump scare per hour, with 40% being a major jump scare. A moderate breaks in between them, and a short quiet tail of 3.6%. And that's what evidence base of I can't look but I can't look away makes. Now let's turn this model into a script blueprint that we're not gonna have line by line dialect, but more the spike of beats. Set the notes and place the scares. Where the first jump scare hits, how many of them, how much time in between them, and how we're gonna make the tension climb. With this schedule, we have 121 minutes, 14 jump scares, 6 major jump scares, and the first jump scare will be in a 5-minute mark. And here's the schedule plot. The orange stars are for the major jump scare, the blue dots are for the minor ones. Notice how on the second act it cuts back, and then on the third act it stacks up. The rhythm is engineered, it's not guessing. Less guessing, more evidence. Roll the credits, but don't look behind you. If you like videos like these, leave a like down below and subscribe, and let us know in the comments if there's any other topics that we want to cover.